We are joined now here on News Nation by two Republican members of Congress. Mike Lawler is from the state of New York. Congressman Tim Burchett is from the state of Tennessee. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight here on News Nation. I'll start top to bottom. Congressman Lawler, first off, your thoughts this evening when you heard about the news and when you saw the news and any information that you have gleaned since.
Well, I was with my wife and daughter, and we were coming home from the store, and I got a phone call about it. And when we got inside, we turned on the news and saw just horrified. This is destructive to our country. It is unimaginable that this would happen. Obviously, you know, I pray for President Trump and his family, but I pray for our country because political violence is not the way that we determine our elections in this country. The voters determine it at the ballot box. And to see this happen after everything that we have seen throughout the course of this year is really unconscionable. And I think it's incumbent upon, you know, President and my colleagues on the Democratic side to think long and hard about the rhetoric that they have used, especially talking about, you know, Donald Trump destroying our democracy, and the rhetoric that has been used that really incites people. It is intended to incite people, and we got to stop it. It has to stop. Let's debate these issues, but the rhetoric of, you know, the coarse political discourse that we have in this country really needs to stop.
But that cuts both ways, does it not, Congressman?
Sure, you can sit and pick and choose what it is that you want to look at and say, he said this, they said that. The bottom line is all of us have a responsibility as elected officials, as candidates for public office. Debate the issues. Have an honest dialogue and debate about the issues. But what we've seen in the rhetoric that is used so often is really to incite people, and it's got to stop.
Congressman Burchett, where were you? How'd you find out, and what have you heard since?
Yeah, I was at a buddy of mine's kid's wedding. You know, thinking about, I could look down, I think I had 14 calls and then 22 on top of that. Yeah, you know, I thought about my father, a combat World War II veteran, praying one night when elections were not going our way. I remember him praying, saying, Lord, please don't let us lose our country. And, you know, you can call it political violence or what have you, but this has been incited against Donald Trump. It's just continuous. Every media outlet in the country has been crucifying this man, saying he's going to ruin. Yeah, you just get on the internet. So to say that it's one-sided is the truth. It is one-sided. You look at ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, all of them. It's 24 hours anti-Trump. You got some nut that gets on a building, apparently in our Secret Service or whoever is inept to protect Donald Trump. And I'm telling you, man, heads ought to roll on this one. There is no way in hell
what is going to happen as it relates?
Do what?
Sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but what do you think needs to happen with the Secret Service? Because there is going to be a massive investigation, I presume.
Yeah, there better be. This was a complete failure. I mean, you had Kennedy on there earlier. He's requested Secret Service protection. Just the history of the violence that's been, you know, thrown at his family, and the president turns him down, and Hunter Biden gets more security than Kennedy has. I mean, it's ridiculous. They play politics with this thing. Look, as somebody on the perimeter, they always clear the perimeter. You've got somebody on a roof with a high-powered rifle. Obviously, there was a huge failure on their part, and this nothing short of that. Nothing short of a failure. I'm not going to get into all the conspiracies. That'll be for later.
No. We don't.
This is about the failure. Yeah, I'm glad you don't, because we don't need that garbage. But this is a complete failure. But the rhetoric's turned up, and you're not going to turn it down. It's just going to get worse and worse. And you know, and it's partially by design. I mean, that keeps the old puppet master's in control when everybody's fighting.
Congressman, I want to jump in. I want to jump in for a second. I'm sorry, and stay with me because I was just handed a statement from Donald Trump, to which I'm sure both of you would like to hear, as well as our audience. Here's a post from Donald Trump. Quote, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. In all caps, God bless America. Again, from Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States. He says, nothing is known at the time about the shooter, who is dead. Donald Trump says he was shot with a bullet that was pierced in the upper part of his right ear, that he knew something was wrong. He heard whizzing sounds, shots, and immediately, quote, felt the bullet ripping through the skin, end quote. Congressman Lawler, your reaction.
But for the grace of God. I mean, look, this was an assassination attempt, plain and simple. And the fact that he reacted as quick as he did, and that the Secret Service that was, within his, proximity reacted as quickly as they did, is obviously critical. Like I said at the beginning, this is unconscionable. I don't know how anyone anywhere could justify any of this in any way. As Tim and I both said, pray for our country, because this is obviously a very divided nation. Our politics are coarse, they're rough and tumble, but that people think violence is the answer to an election is really a sad statement on where we are as a country today. And it really, God help us.
Congressman Burchett, as you speak with other members, obviously the three of us are here on NewsNation right now talking amongst ourselves as our audience watches and listens. But I wonder, as you speak to other members of Congress on your side of the aisle, what they're telling you.
Well, we all are talking about keeping the rhetoric down. Let's find some answers. This is what we have committees to do, actually, is to research this kind of thing. But in the immediate future, I think we realize that these type of rallies, the security is going to have to be upped, and that we've got to start taking these things serious. We put up these fences around these show fences around the Capitol, and then we let other things slack. I think that we need to take a serious look at it, because we're all out. Lawler and myself, we're out in our communities every day, and everybody knows who we are, and we know the reality of what we're doing. And I think some of the folks in Washington are going to have to start taking that a little more serious as well. And I'll leave it at that.
Congressman Tim Burchett from the state of Tennessee, Congressman Mike Lawler from the state of New York, both Republicans joining us here this evening on NewsNation. I thank you for your time, to the both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.